Hey guys, okay, so here is a slightly different video. I'm doing this between video game reviews and stuff like that. Um, I was going to do a video months back of movies I was going to watch for Halloween. And that never got posted for a reason. I was in the middle of the move and everything else, and it's just a little late to post it now. So, what it comes down to is I was looking at someone who wanted me to subscribe to his site. His name is Box in Typex. He's doing his little countdown of the 20 greatest horror films in his opinion. Well, it got me thinking. I am a horror aficionado. I like a good horror film like anyone else. And I've got a handful of them in my collection. So I thought I'd put together a little list of my own favorite horror films, or a mixture of favorite and the best made. Not necessarily scared me so much as it is just twisted and dark, and they deserve the credit. And so here's my top 10 list. I have some favorable honorable mentions at the very end. So let's go down the list. Start with number 10, which I put on the list as Ju-on, or as a lot of you know, The Grudge. It's the Japanese version. I think it's superior to the other version. Don't get me wrong, Sarah Michelle Gellar is cute, no, but no. Okay, so number 9, Night of the Living Dead, the original George Romero classic, black and white, very, very well done. It feels like you're watching news footage almost. It doesn't feel like you're just watching a movie, so it is very creepy, and it works subconsciously. Watching them eat the meat and other things just kind of, it has one of the great lines at the end of it. They're all messed up. Alright, so number 8, Dawn of the Dead, the remake. Zombies in general are good. Most zombie movies are great. Shaun of the Dead, fantastic movie. A bunch of the movies are great. The new Dawn of the Dead, the one that remade 2002, 2003, somewhere in there, the zombies actually ran at you. That was an important improvement. I know the classic is the zombies that kind of stagger towards you, but these zombies really were menacing. Not to mention, I had a scene in it that to this day still freaks me out, and that's the little girl in the hallway jumping to her feet and running for the door. That image is ingrained in my head forever. It's right up there, which will lead to my number 1, which you'll understand. There's something creepy about little girls. I don't know why. There is. Number 7 is Psycho, the original Anthony Perkins, Alfred Hitchcock, Alfred Hitchcock film. Classic movie, classic, just fantastically done. Number 6 on my list is a very new film, recently released in the theaters, coming out in DVD at the end of the year, a movie called Paranormal Activity. The only reason this movie made the list is because I thought it deserved some credit. Not only for how good it was, for how little it's cost to make, but the last 20 minutes of this film is when everything happens. And the last 5 minutes is some of the most memorable things you'll ever see on camera. Very little in the way of visual effects. I think the movie cost $11,000 to make. They shot it in like less than 2 weeks, and the movie works. It made me want to keep the lights on that same night when I got home. So it works. It was a very well made movie. A lot of people will say, "Oh, it's stupid." Those people who don't believe in ghosts. I believe in ghosts. Can't say I've ever seen one, but I definitely believe in spirits, and that movie works. It did just the right amount of everything. Okay, so hurried up along. 5, Saw, the original Saw, fantastic film. Skip Saws 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Skip them. Go see the original if you've not seen it. It is a little bloody, but it surprisingly lacks a lot of over-the-top violence. It's more what's in your head. You see things, you watch the people's reaction, and that's what grosses you, and that's what makes you cringe. It is so well done, and the ending is so out of left field, you're like, wow, that was a ride. Number 4, Evil Dead. You gotta give it to Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi is the man. Another movie I would love to throw on this list is Drag Me to Hell. Sam Raimi, just, if anyone can do horror right, it's Sam Raimi. He is a fantastic director, and the Evil Dead series, including Army of Darkness, were just superb. From the first one, which was way over the top, to the second one, which had a little comedy, third one, which was a full comedy. He knows how to build tension. Sam is brilliant at that. Number 3 is Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. I'm very much looking forward to the remake. I'm not taking anything away from Robert Englund. I think Jackie Earle Haley will do fantastic, but the original Nightmare still has imagery that will mess with your head. Even knowing how the visual effects were done, it's still just wow. Number 2, John Carpenter's The Thing. This movie, it is definitely not for the faint-hearted. It is a wild, grotesque thing. It isn't like super bloody by today's comparison. Some of the movies nowadays are so over the top, it's ridiculous. But this movie has so many weird turns, and it's just nothing creepier than isolation and not being able to trust anyone around you. And John captures that perfectly. And that's why that movie's got to be up there. It's an underrated film, has some of the best lines of all time. I mean, things you would normally say if you were in the same situation they are. Number 1 film, number 1 horror film, number 1 bane of my existence, The Exorcist. Now, I know there's a lot of people who will laugh off The Exorcist, and they have a right to. It's, by all rights, corny by today's standards. But what William freaking managed to do in that video, in that movie, still scares the crap out of me today. The makeup may look corny. It's that image of her face with the makeup on. All it takes is me seeing that. I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to see it. I love horror films. I can watch tons of horror films. That movie I cannot watch except during the daytime and with friends. By myself ain't happening. It just ain't happening. Sorry. So anyway, that's my top 10. Some other honorable mentions besides there is The Mist. Fantastic movie. Frank Darabont is a genius. The movie Frailty. Bill Paxton. Fantastic. Great job he did in that movie. Hellraiser. Clive Barker is the man. The Orphanage, Guillermo del Toro produced. Fantastic ghost movie. And then another one I was going to throw in on this list, and it blanked on my mind until just a minute ago. I'm like, why didn't I think of it? The original version of Quarantine. It's like an Italian/Spanish film. It's called Record. R-E-C. Fantastic film. I have not seen the original, the new one, the American one, Quarantine, but that one was creepy. Very, very creepy. Anyway, this completes my top 10 list. I just wanted to run this by you guys. Feel free to post your own comments of other movies I may have forgotten. Until then, guys, talk to you later.